Hello everyone, my commemorative speech will be on Isaiah Thomas. Thomas crosses, foul called, and one. Isaiah Thomas has scored 50. David Aldridge announces as the crowd erupts with cheers. Isaiah Thomas is no longer in the league, but when he was, he inspired thousands all over the world that it's heart over height. Isaiah Thomas's journey from being the last pick of the NBA draft to becoming an All-Star and MVP candidate demonstrates that true greatness in sports is defined not by physical stature, but by resilience, heart, and perseverance, as shown through his achievements on the court and his courage in playing through personal tragedy. First, Isaiah Thomas was a point guard who stood only at 5 foot 9 inches in the NBA, while most other players were all well above 6 feet. Yet, that did not discourage him, and he led the Celtics to the number 1 seed and the Eastern Conference Finals. He had an outstanding season, averaging 28.9 points and finishing 5th in the MVP voting for the year. He worked harder than anyone because he was forced to, with the automatic disadvantage of being shorter than all his opponents. To add on to his historic season, he was selected to the All-Star game and scored 20 points representing the Boston Celtics. Unfortunately, the Celtics fell short in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Cavaliers and could not make it all the way. Although Isaiah Thomas couldn't win the MVP that year, it was unbelievable that he was able to finish in the top 5 at the height he was with the talent in the NBA. Second, Thomas played through many personal injuries and tragedies during his time with the Celtics. He played through a hip injury that ultimately caused him problems later down the line in his career, but he was willing to do whatever it took to try and win a championship for the Boston Celtics. On top of his hip injury, a personal tragedy occurred in the middle of the Celtics' playoff run. His sister, China Thomas, passed away in a car accident before his playoff game against the Washington Wizards. He then went on to play in that playoff game and scored 33 points, dedicating that emotional game to his sister. The series against Washington lasted 7 games, and with the final game being played on her birthday, May 2nd. In this game, he decided to play through the emotional day because he knew his sister would want nothing more than for him to play and continue to succeed. He went on to score 53 points and led the Celtics to a first-round win against the Wizards. Thomas inspired so many through this period of dealing with such a tragic loss and still showing up for his team when they needed it most, even though he himself was broken. In conclusion, Isaiah Thomas's story proves that greatness is not measured in inches but in determination, resilience, and heart. From overcoming the disadvantage of being one of the shortest players in the league to leading the Celtics as an All-Star and MVP candidate, Thomas showed that relentless work and belief can break barriers that seem impossible. Even more inspiring was his strength through personal pain, playing through major injuries and the devastating loss of his sister, while still delivering unforgettable performances. His journey reminds us that true greatness comes from pushing forward when circumstances say you shouldn't, and his legacy continues to motivate athletes and fans everywhere to rise above their limits and chase their dreams with heart over height. Thank you.